Attention, cryptocurrency holders and investors. Every single September, Bitcoin repeats the same exact pattern, which shocks most people and leaves everybody at the edge of their seats. But this is no more. Take a look. September 2013, we printed this exact candle. Now, this candle is a very specific pattern and it happens exactly at the same time. Fast forward 4 years, September 2017, we did the same exact move right underneath everybody's noses without them even noticing. And 4 years later, September 21, we printed the same exact pattern yet again, which took the world by storm, shocked most, but this is no more because here we are 4 years later, September 2025, and guess what? The same pattern might repeat right under everybody's nose until now. In today's video, I'm going to tell you what September typically does and how to get ahead of the curve. Let's get into it. Welcome. I'm Steve. Here we deliver honest, sponsorship-free TA with genuine value. Subscribe for a no BS approach that actually helps you. Subscribe. So here we are, Bitcoin US dollar index, and today we're on the monthly chart. On the monthly chart, we have a lot of data in front of us, but what I went ahead and did is put a nice little box around the September candle. And the September candle, that happens every 4 years, right near the end of the cycle, like clockwork, and surprises most. In order to understand what is about to happen for September of this year, we need to understand the pattern. So let's go back in time, shall we? Let's go back to September 2013. At September 2013, and as we zoom in here, it was at a very specific time in the market. The market had just rallied from about $10 all the way up to over 260. The market was hot. The market needed to cool off, and that's exactly what happened. So we had that top back here in April 13. A couple months later, we saw our bottom. Our bottom held beautiful market structure, and that July candle was that pivotal turning point. And after that turning point, we just had more consolidation. In other words, we had a large run up, and then this turned into a big accumulation zone. And once the September 13 candle printed, we only had 2 months to the market cycle top. Keep that in mind. That's critical information. But more specifically about this candle, if you look at it, we could not really get above where the body of the candle in April 13 was. In other words, we had a whole bunch of months of consolidation, and September 2013 was the end of that consolidation and right before the huge pump really happened. You see, the pump didn't happen in September 2013. That was the end of the consolidation period and right before the market cycle top. Now, 4 years later, September 2017, let's dig into this pattern because it printed right before everybody's eyes. Take a look. You see, Bitcoin had risen from about $800 up here to almost 5,000. The market was hot. The market needed to cool off. And that's exactly what happened with the September candle. No hype, just facts. Subscribe and relax. The September candle, once again in 2017, it represented the end of consolidation, the end of that area to buy more. Keep in mind, when we rewind the clocks, September 2013, that was the end of that buying period right before the final explosion. That was the end of that accumulation zone. September 17, that was the end of the accumulation zone right before the final push to the final market cycle top. The difference is 2013 was only 2 months to the market cycle top, and 2017 was 3 months. You see, this same pattern repeated in the next cycle as well. Take a look. This is 2021. You see, in 2021, we also had a huge run up, and we also had a period of consolidation, and we also had the end of consolidation in the month of September. So that buying opportunity that was here, it finished in September. 2021, just like it finished in September 17, just like it finished in September 13. Now you see the pattern. September represents the end of the accumulation zone and right before the final push. And this time in 2021, we had just 2 months to the market cycle top. So if we look at the history, September 13, 2 months to the top, September 17, 3 months to the top, September 21, 2 months to the top. So far, we've got 66% of the time, it's 2 months to the top, and 33% of the time, it's 3 months to the top. Now, as we dig into what's happening now, let's try to make sense of it. And what we really want to understand is, hey, is more of the same going to happen? And what does that mean for crypto? Or is a big curveball right in the charts, right as you and I are looking at this chart together? Is there something big, bold, and uncommon that we can point to and say, you know what, because of this September is going to be different? Let's dig into the details. When we dig into it, we can see we most recently had a run up of 74,000 all the way up to 125. Once we reached 125, we have a consolidation area of accumulation zone that's moving on top of key levels of what used to be our resistance. All healthy stuff, very similar to other patterns. So far, right off the bat, we can see like, okay, now I can see this run from here to here was big. It really moved the needle for crypto. It brought us to a new all-time high. And once we did that, we were sort of out of breath. We needed to catch our breath and, case in point, enter in accumulation zone. So the last month of August represented was also the accumulation zone. And here we are in September. So are things looking like they're dramatically different? No. Does this mean that September is going to be the end of the accumulation zone and perhaps people's last chance to buy Bitcoin before the final push up? And this time, will it be 2 months to the market cycle top, 3 months to the market cycle top, or are we in for a major curveball and it will be different this time? Let me know in the comments down below. Trade like a tourist or go with the pros. The FFA is where the real ones go. Link in description.